welcome to Ort Family Farm. My name is Shona Ort, and I'm going to be talking to you today a little bit about how to start herbs from cut-ins. So with me today, I have two herb plants. The first one in front of me here is a tricolor sage, and then this one right here is a pine-scented geranium. So to start things off, you're going to need a container. Today I'm going to be using a solid bottom one that you would use for starting seedlings, and a 72 cell plug tray. And I have filled it with just a general purpose like Pro Mix. It has no fertilizer added into it. You can purchase seed starting mixes or grow mixes with fertilizer in. However, I don't choose to do that because there's certain fertilizers I like to use, and so I usually add those in throughout the growing season. So I'm just using a peat moss, bark, and perlite based soil, and I'm going to be sticking the cut-ins straight into there. Now to take cut-ins, what you're going to do is you're going to take your plant and you're going to take the very tip of that plant off, and it's going to be the new growth. You'll see it, some parts will be much woodier and that's the older growth, and then there's going to be a soft flexible top, which I'll show you in a close-up picture. And you're going to do that, and then what you're going to do is you're going to take and you're going to strip off the leaves on the lower part of that cut-in. Once you have the leaves stripped off, you're going to soak it in a solution. Now there's a couple different solutions you can use. I use a rooting hormone, and there's different ones and they have different rates for which you make a concentration mix or dilution mix, my apologies, and then you stick the cut-ins into those. You can also use willow water, where you put some willow branches into water overnight, and that releases different acids and other enzymes into the water, and that helps promoting the growth of roots onto cut-ins of herbs too. But I'm using a standard horticultural rooting hormone, and I'm just soaking this cut-in tip in there at the moment. Then I'm going to take this cut-in and I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to make a hole and I'm going to stick it into that soil, which I've already pre-moistened prior to that, and I'm going to pinch the soil around that and make sure it's nice and in and tight. So now that I got the cut-in in there, what I'm going to do is I'm going to come back and I'm going to keep a monitor on those cut-ins, and I'm going to mist them with either a misting wand, which is like this, a couple of times a day, or you can use a spray bottle as well. As your goal is to keep them moist but not soaking wet. I guess you can sometimes rot plants off by having them way too wet. So we're just going to mist whenever we see the soil start to turn a little bit of a tan color, which is drying out, and we're going to mist those. And you're going to keep doing this for a couple weeks. Now, to determine when your cut-in has rooted, you're going to come back through in a couple weeks and you're going to tug on this little guy. Now if you see that this little guy pulls right out and has no roots on, then that means it was not a success. Maybe it takes a little bit longer, or maybe it's failing. However, if you tug on it and it doesn't want to come out and you pull it out and it has soil still attached to it, that's a very good sign that it has rooted. So just, in a few weeks, come along and tug it gently to see how it's going. Now, for care of these little guys, so because the weather's still very capricious, as a friend put it right at the moment, we try to keep ours in a greenhouse. You should keep yours in a warm area like a porch or a kitchen, either under a grow light, but on some sort of heat. So next to me I have benches, which I'll show a close-up picture of, that are covered with insulation board and then have incandescent Christmas lights on, and we use that for a bottom heat source. You can use commercial heat mats as well. If you have an appliance like a refrigerator that's in a sunny location, you could put the cut-ins on top of that to provide a little bit of bottom heat from the radiation out of the unit. But providing a little bit of heat really helps in promoting the growth on the cut-ins. And then in a few weeks, if you start seeing them too yellow a little bit, you can start adding a fertilizer to them, something like a fish emulsion or another plant starter fertilizer in a liquid form, and those rates will be right on the bottle of whatever product you use. Now if you have any further questions on starting your own herb cut-ins, please feel free to reach out to us. regarding that. And we hope you have a good day. Bye.